Hey there, got an original Xbox right here, decent condition, just about to power it up for the first time. Looks like it's turning on. Seems to be stuck at this screen a little longer than it should be. Oh, there we go. That took a lot longer than it should have. The only time I've seen this happen is with a hard-modded Xbox that doesn't have a proper ID to SATA card inside. Controller seems to be okay. I'm not sure if you can hear us. Just going to turn this up a little bit. Volume seems okay. I'm sure you can probably hear the fan going in here. It's a little bit loud. Just going to check the drive tray. That's pretty good. It's not staking or anything. Okay, so there's 6 screws here we're going to have to take off. First 4 screws are underneath the outside part of each of these little legs right here. You can simply just use a little spudger, lift them up, and get to the screws. Last 2 screws are underneath these 2 labels. And if you want to keep the labels intact, it's going to be a little bit of a pain to get to, but we're going to try a little trick here. Screw is right here. So what I'm going to do, this is 99% isopropyl alcohol. Gonna try to let that kind of soak in there. Same thing on this spot right here. And got a little plastic razor blade here. Gonna try and use this to sort of go in there and try and get the sticker up without damaging it. And while we wait for these to soak in, let's get these guys up. So right here, first screw. This one's a Torx bit. This is actually a security Torx bit I'm using here. See the little hole in the bit? Just it's late and I'm too lazy to go to the garage and get my Torx screwdrivers. Got a silver screw in this one. I've seen silver and black screws in these guys. There's a little plastic thing right here you might have to pierce to actually get to the screw. Okay, that's the 4 easy screws off. Gonna try use this now. See if this works. Yep, that worked pretty good. This screw is like smack dab in the middle right here under my fingertip. This one's not coming up nearly as nice, but might just be me being impatient here. This part, top half should just now lift off, like that. No wires connected to this, and It's actually fairly clean. A little bit of dust in the inside I can see here. Fan's gonna need cleaning for sure. Interestingly, yeah, well, I knew it wasn't hard modded. There wasn't the little, you see a little Evo logo in this part of the screen when it boots up. But yeah, might just be this drive's dying. This drive, that's the DVD drive. Okay, we'll get this apart now. This one is a T10 screw. Big ones here, I think these are T20, I believe. Disconnect these ribbons. Disconnecting the power cable from the back of the DVD drive. Power cable from the back of the hard drive. And there should be 2 more screws. Here we go. There's 2 screws right here that need to come off. And these should just lift up now. This guy first. We'll get this cable over here for now. So that's the hard drive. That's the DVD drive. Okay, yeah, actually it is a little more dusty than I thought it was. I'm gonna try and vacuum some of this stuff up. Okay, that's as much vacuuming as I'd care to do at midnight. I'll hit this with the air compressor tomorrow when the neighbors are not going to be in a bad mood and me making a ton of noise. Okay, so right here, let me get a light. This capacitor right here, that's the clock capacitor, and looking at it, doesn't look like there's a lot of leakage from it. Actually, there is a little bit of discoloration in this area right here, so it may have squirted its guts out already. Either way, it's got to come off. Okay, right here I'm just disconnecting all the cables from the motherboard. That was the power cable. These are the front panel cables here. Taking off the ribbon cable now for the hard drives and the fan cable. Now just removing all the screws that are securing the motherboard down. May end up regretting this, but gonna try to take these 2 heat sinks off after we deal with the clock capacitor. Put some fresh thermal paste under there. This is me forgetting that those 2 screws by the video port have to come out as well. Yeah, so you can kind of see there's some little caked on dirt there, and it's a little discolored in the area. Not just the dirt, but I'm not sure how well it shows up in camera, but you can, there's a little border somewhere around here where the color doesn't quite match up. So yeah, this guy comes off tomorrow after we clean it up, and gonna see about removing these. Probably need a heat gun for that. I think, if I remember correctly, the GPU's they've used thermal adhesive for it, not thermal paste. Rest of it looks okay. Oh, by the way, if you ever do decide to go fooling around one of these, don't. There's a lot of stuff in here, especially like this capacitor right there, that could kill you, okay? Okay, so it's the next day right now. I've given it a good go through with the air compressor. Not gonna do a deep clean on it. Now, right here, not sure if the camera's gonna pick this up, but you can kind of see where the capacitor leaked right here. There's a little kind of delineation in the shading of the board, and there's a sort of caked on dirt right here where it kind of interacted with the gunk that leaked out of the capacitor. So just going to use a toothbrush and some IPA to get that off. Okay, this is a bit unusual, but I don't believe this capacitor has been changed before, but you can kind of see here this capacitor is not seated all the way into the board. So the capacitor is not flush to the board, so I might be able to just use a pair of snips and disconnect this guy rather than desoldering it. Now, if you're really lazy, there's a little trick you can do to try and get this capacitor off. You may end up ruining your board though. Basically just grab it, twist it. Oops. And there we go. Now, just got to make sure these contact points aren't touching here. Yeah, that trick's actually a little bit easier if it is flush to the board. Right here, still have these two little legs here sticking up. But that should be fine. Yeah, just as an aside, I honestly can't tell if this board's been recapped or not just by the mismatch and the type of capacitors in here. But doesn't matter now, I guess. Okay, gonna try and take the heat sinks off here. Just gonna sort of pry this piece out right here from underneath this clip. It's one. This one may be a little bit gunked in. Might have to apply some heat to it to get it out. This one here, you flip back, and I think it's easier to go from the back here. There we go. Okay, this one just comes right off. Okay, try to ignore any flickering you might see. Whenever I use the soldering station, it messes with the wiring. I've got to run a different circuit to this. There we go. Gonna use good old 99% IPA and a cotton bud to clean this off. For this really thick gunky stuff here, I remember seeing in another video before, you can actually use a toothpick. It's soft enough to not damage anything in there. Again, do this at your own risk. Okay, doesn't look perfect, but that's about as far as I'm willing to take it. I can't even scratch this stuff off right here, but should be good enough for such an old device anyways. Should have plenty of surface to make contact with the heatsink, and we'll be using way better thermal paste as well. Okay, got some Arctic Silver 5 here. And that should be the perfectly wrong amount of thermal paste. See if we can scrape these off with the wooden stick here. Don't want to be using anything metallic to scrape this with, or you're gonna damage the heatsink. Try to get some of this IPA to soak in, see if it helps any. Okay, not perfect, but it'll do. Relatively smooth surface here. Oh, awesome. I think I've managed to cake all the thermal paste into my mat. Okay. Alright, let's get these guys back on. Okay, hopefully that one's good. Okay, gonna put this guy back in now. Okay, that's all the screws in. Get the ribbon cable back in here. Okay, gonna put the DVD drive back in. These 4 pegs right here, they sit on these 4 pegs in here. Now for the hard drive, gonna take this little bundle of wires, route it through this little gap right here. And same thing, just double check you're not pinching any wires when you lay this on the pegs. Route this back here. Get the power plugged in. Now the data cable. And slip the cable back underneath there. Normally I would check this drive for errors, see if I got to, well, can't really replace it without soft modding it, but that's a video for another day. Okay, let's power this thing up. So far, so good. Still got this little bit of a delay here at this point. I think the drive is probably dying on this thing. So we'll have to soft mod it, but for the time being, the clock capacitor has been removed, and we've got new thermal paste on there. There we go. There's the Microsoft logo. And I forgot to plug the controller cable back in. Powering it on again. Going to be checking this game right here. Need for Speed Underground. There we go, and the controller works now. Oh, just as an aside, right here, this is a Samsung DVD drives. There were quite a few different models of these, different manufacturers actually. Thomson, a couple others. Now, these DVD drives are interchangeable between different Xboxes, original Xboxes. The hard drives are not. The hard drives are married to a key on the motherboard. However, it is pretty easy to get them soft modded. If you do plan on restoring one of these guys or using them, I would recommend you at least soft mod it just to get rid of the lock on the hard drive. If this drive dies, you're basically at that point you have to hard mod the system. Involves a lot of soldering and so forth. Here we go, game's loaded up. Overall as well, the system seems to be a whole lot quieter now. Okay, we'll just do a quick race. Try the Dodge Neon, the best car ever made. Yep, doesn't seem like I'm getting any kind of weird slowdowns or anything. Sorry, more copyrighted music. Anyways, you get the picture. It works. And that's it. This guy's back together now and working. And yeah, looks like I managed to get the thermal paste that was stuck in the mat onto the top of this guy. Well, we'll clean it off, but yeah, otherwise this guy's good now. At least until we do the soft modding video, maybe.